Welcome to Pass the Peaches, Please. On behalf of Montana Team Nutrition, we are delighted to have you join us for a few minutes to talk about making childcare mealtimes positive, pleasant experiences for children and the adults who care for them. In this short video, we will cover 4 important concepts to help you make mealtimes more pleasant in either center or home-based childcare. These concepts are: 1. Normal eating behaviors of children during the preschool years. 2. The division of responsibility in feeding between adults and children. 3. Tried and true tips for positive meal times. And 4. The importance of family-style meals in childcare settings.
Well, one of the things that I notice with our program is that eating behaviors in young children can be very frustrating to the caregivers, but it is entirely normal for the age of children that we work with. Preschool children are also messy, and they have varying levels of hunger from day to day. We find that they go through food jags. Some examples of food jags are children that only eat bread and drink milk. What we have found in our program is that children take on the responsibility themselves. They try new foods, and the period of time that they're on the food jag varies in time, but eventually they move on. They depend on adults to make good decisions for them, to help them through their developmental stages. And we find with the eating habits, like other skills in children's life, become more competent, they become more capable. We have some of our children in our program for more than 1 or 2 years. Some of them are here for 3 years, and we see such a change from when they're 2.5 until they're age 5 when they head off to kindergarten.
The term division of responsibility in feeding was created by Ellen Satter, who is both a registered dietitian and a family therapist. Based on research and years of her work with children and families, Satter has developed a model of the feeding relationship that emphasizes the different responsibilities of adults and children. This division not only prevents many of the usual struggles around mealtime, it also helps children grow into capable, competent eaters. Here is what that division looks like in terms of childcare settings. It is the responsibility of adults to choose and prepare foods, provide regular meals and snacks, make mealtime pleasant, and help children learn new skills with different foods and recipes. Children get to choose which foods to eat, choose how much to eat, use age-appropriate manners, and use age-appropriate language.
My name is Lenita Huff, and I do have Grandma's Kids. It is a home daycare. I have 5 children now, 1 in a high chair and 4 that sit at the table with me at mealtime. I've had many years experience, about 20 plus, with group daycares, centers, and finally settling in with my home daycare. I try to give them different foods on a pretty frequent basis. Most of the time they're very willing to try it. Sometimes they are not. I've never heard that I don't like it, but I have heard I would rather not eat this. So that is fine, and I just tell them that's fine. Usually if they watch other children eating it, they will try it on their own, I have found. I also think that they have the responsibility, and if they are sitting at the table, to clean up after themselves. So we usually start out with the older kids and let them go to the garbage and clean off their plates in the sink and go back and sit down, and you would be surprised. The little ones, I have an 18-month-old, and she is just as good at taking her plate to the garbage and scraping it off as the older kids are. It's amazing. If there is something that gets spilled, I have a broom, I have a dustpan I can clean up, or they can help clean up. And that works. Kids like responsibility.
Positive meal times in childcare settings are good for children's bodies because they meet important nutrition needs for growth and development. Preschool children need nutrient-rich meals for strong bodies and smart brains. Meal times are also important for young children's social development. Meal times are important places to help children learn many new skills, like the give and take of a conversation. Meal times provide a place to help children become competent, capable eaters. With the help of trusted caregivers, children can learn about new foods and learn to verbalize their likes and dislikes in respectful ways. Meal times are also the obvious place to help children stay in touch with their internal signals of hunger and fullness. When children eat from these internal cues, it reinforces their innate ability to maintain a healthy weight and to avoid overeating. In center and home-based childcare settings, caregivers can make meal times positive with a few simple tips. Make the table appealing to kids with bright colors, plus right-sized furniture and utensils. Sit with children and be a role model for trying new foods. Teach children to verbalize their likes and dislikes in a respectful way. And practice simple phrases to help children decide if they are hungry or full.
We try to bring in colorful dishes like soup bowls and serving bowls that the food looks inviting to them and they want to participate and try. Even if it's something they don't like, they may like the container that it comes in. And so we try to make that fun for them. We buy small pitchers. They have a lid on them with a small hole. They're able to hold on to them with two hands, and they pour very easily. If they do spill, it's just one of the things that we deal with, but we do encourage them to try. Each child is different, and they all have different needs and different tastes, and respecting those differences, that's okay. That we can all come together and enjoy what's put before us, however much we want to enjoy it.
In center and home-based childcare settings, family-style meals are the best way to feed children because they support the division of responsibility in feeding, help children develop into competent, capable eaters, teach mealtime skills and manners. So what are family-style meals? They are meals where children and caregivers eat together at the same table, and where children actively participate in preparing the table, serving the food, and cleaning up afterward. Depending on their age, and as their skills increase, children can set the table with unbreakable dishes, utensils, and napkins, pass food dishes around the table and take the amount of food they want to start with, pour their own milk or water, clear their own dishes, and help clean up the table after the meal.
It does take some organization, I won't lie to you. There's just one of me and 5 of them, so it does take some preparation and some organization, but if you're really into it, it works. I do have an infant that is in a high chair, presently, and as soon as they are in a high chair, the high chair is moved right up next to the table, right by me, and the baby eats right along with us. He sits there, I feed him some of the things that we are eating, but he can join right in and is happy as a clam, just sitting there being part of our little family. We're very relaxed. They can sit and take their time eating, and however long it takes them to finish their meals. In order to do a family style meal with kids and start them out as toddlers, we usually try to get the little forks, the little kid type plates that they can use. But I've also found some other things that are really helpful for them. Small pitchers with handles that they can get their little hands around. Use 2 hands and fill their glasses. Usually about 1/4 of a cup in a glass is good to start out with. And even the 18-month-old who is not pouring yet, she has her sippy cup. One of the best things about home style meals for me as a child care provider is I get the opportunity to watch these kids grow and actually experience some very good eating habits that will carry them throughout their life.